Hey guys, Luke here with you. And first off, thank you to everybody who has provided some feedback and suggestions for how we can improve this business moving forward. I really appreciate everybody taking the time to come and give us, your thoughts about what it is that we can do to make Hashing Ad Space better. And I thought that a simple way to answer these questions would be in a video, and we'll go through these questions one by one so everyone can benefit from everyone else's questions. So we can look at the suggestions and have a discussion around how that may suit us or why we do certain things that we do. So also this will help people that aren't in this exact discussion. So maybe you're watching this video. So what we've done is we've put out the call in this Facebook group, the Hashing Ad Space official members only group, for some feedback. So this post is still live, so if you have other questions, please feel free to come here and provide your feedback as well. So the idea is to hear about what it is that you would like to see improved, or new ideas, or constructive criticism. So like I said, I'm going to go through these questions one by one. So thanks for the great update. Thanks, Ian, and we'll move forward. The translation for this is basically that you're starting to lose some confidence in the system. And I think that that is probably something that a lot of people are feeling, and a lot of that comes from the uncertainty of the token price. That really is, in my opinion, where a lot of maybe the sentiment, the down sentiment for the business, because Hashing Ad Space is actually working really well. Okay, we have a really good product, and we have people that want to come here and earn, and the only thing really holding us back is the token value. And you can see here, this I did write a reply on this particular comment, but basically I think that I'll just paraphrase what I've written here, and that is that the business is actually working really well. And once we get the token value back on track, I think we're going to see a lot of interest, and all the people that maybe are sitting on the sidelines and they do feel a little discouraged, or they do feel uncertain about what the future holds, then they're going to really get re-engaged and see that there's a lot of potential in this business, because that is really what we're doing, is moving forward with new ideas and new ways to grow Hashing Ad Space and to grow a SIMI. And the token value is something that can change at any time. The main important work that we have to do to stay on track is progress and to expand the token economy. Okay, so that is what we're working on. So stay with us and stay tuned. Even though maybe you're feeling a little discouraged right now, stay with us, because we really are moving forward and powering forward. That is the whole point of this business, right? To help people succeed in online business. And I know the token value is down, but really once we turn that around with what we have planned, then I think a lot of people are going to be very happy. Barry, I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but the view to earn premium ads aren't showing up. That's right. So we've removed the premium ads, and at the time of making this video, you'll see the section is still there, but what we're doing is we're actually hiding that for the moment temporarily while we make some changes to make that system better, so that there's more ads, there's more potential there for the advertisers as well, so more value for the advertisers, more value for the viewers, and that once we make those changes, then we will add that back in, so it is not there at the moment. My own idea might be criticized, but it's reality. So anyone here can understand that how alts work, and you'll agree with me, SIMI is not Bitcoin. It's far from Bitcoin. The only way to give value to the token is by building business measures for it, which you stated in the previous video. But I'll make my own suggestions based on my experience. I don't buy the idea that free is SIMI for those that can't get it as little as one stake. Also, the raffle draw in the free minting should stop. We should work on reducing the circulating supply. Once there is enough products, enough usage for a SIMI, and not much in the circulating supply, the SIMI value will grow up. So what we're talking about here is a reduction of the circulating supply, because for anybody that doesn't understand that, if you have demand but less SIMI, then what can happen is price rise can occur, just like we're talking about here. Now, let me just finish and then I'll cover these. Even the exchange using the platform token means for a transaction doesn't charge you much for incentives. This business strictly business. For those invest in, let's limit it to proof of stake, stake returned, or whatever it's called alone. Advertisers themselves want valuable users. Yeah, I repeat, we need to reduce circulating supply, nothing free anywhere, no free money anywhere. Listing on other exchanges too. We need more marketing strategies. We need more new members. I'm open for criticism. Anyone can do that. Okay, cool. Look, I appreciate this feedback, and I think there's a lot of value actually in what you're saying here. This particularly at the end, listing on another exchange, more marketing strategies, more new members. That really is, there's a lot of power in that, because once we start growing and we are listing in different exchanges and we have new people joining, and I mean, we're still growing at around 500 people a day, okay, so business is still growing really well. But the new marketing strategies, that is something that we are implementing soon, as per the last video that I made, where we will be rolling out that more targeted approach where we have the advertising portal plus the earning portal, so that people can really send their customers to what interests them. So that's going to convert a lot better and help us to grow even further. The other point here about circulating supply, part of it I agree with, and that is that we have to manage our inflation, and that is something that is important, but we have to understand also that this is the first year, and so we need tokens in circulation for this economy to actually work. If we only had very, very few tokens, then it would actually create different issues for our economy. But because we are starting, we have to get that circulating supply going, right? This is only the first 12 months. We really need to get that good base where we spread a lot of asimi across a lot of people, put it in a lot of different hands. That's really good for the stability of the token over the long term. So this high inflationary first year really is actually an important stage in this token growth. Eventually, we're going to see that trajectory change, and we're going to appreciate that, you know, we did need to have this inflation in the first year. That said, we do have to manage it closely, and that's something that we're doing. The one point that I do agree with is the free prizes. We have to manage those free prizes so that they don't get out of hand, and that we really get a lot of value coming back in for those prizes. The free earnings, though, that is not inflationary, and people that are earning tokens for free, watching ads in the view to earn system, those tokens have to come from an advertiser first. So that's not an inflationary. Well, we did have that one issue with the view to earn, so that was inflationary, like I've discussed previously. However, typically, like as in right now, there is no inflation that occurs from the view to earn. It is simply a change of ownership from the advertiser to the viewer, and there's no real downward pressure that occurs from that alone. So I don't really agree that we need to not have free earnings. The other point here is that it's good for advertisers to have a qualified audience, and I agree with that. That's one of the main reasons that we have the proof of stake, is because advertisers, they get valuable users or viewers in the ad minter, right? So everybody has staked there, and what that means is that the advertiser gets a really good quality view because that person is really active, and so that's really good for their campaigns, their list building, their other products and services. But we have that in the ad minter, so we have to separate those two ideas and understand that yes, we have that value in the ad minter, but we also want to offer something else for people that maybe want to come risk-free. Okay, there's absolutely no risk. Come and watch ads. This is a really good way to grow the business because we can offer that value for free, a free income, nothing to pay, no risk, no credit card required, okay, all of the things that people really want to hear when they want to test something out, because it's a great way for people to come and see how this business works, to get in the rhythm of earning, and then some of those people that want to get more involved in our community, they go on to stake, maybe in the login stake or maybe in the admin to stake. So it's a great way to actually grow our community as a whole. So I am a firm believer that we value every person that comes here. It doesn't matter if you earn for free or you mint or you advertise. Everybody is welcome, and that we all contribute to this economy. So I like your suggestions. So thank you for all of the suggestions, and I hope that that makes it clear about how we're running this business and why we have those parts of it in place. But I've definitely heard your main point here, and that is we have to manage our circulating supply, and that is something that we are actively doing, and you'll see that as well. But the number one driver here is growth. Okay, that's the number one driver. That's what we really need to see: more engagement and more activity, and that's what that previous video was about, because that is what's really going to push a simi. The prizes, they're just a drop in the ocean compared to what we could do if we had a lot of growth and demand coming from other areas. So that really has to be the focus. Let's keep going. I would argue that not enough simi in circulation. Oh, okay, sorry, no, that is a response. So the priority for a simi token is to be listed on major exchanges. That is, thank you for the suggestion. I do agree that if we expand into other exchanges, we are going to potentially see more activity with the simi token. And it really is important to go to at least one other exchange. And that's what we're working on right now, is our next exchange. And that's due to launch reasonably soon, all things going well. So what that means is that we will start to see, an exciting way where people and traders can start to look at a simi in two different prices, and that can create opportunity, particularly for traders, day traders. And so that can also start to inspire some more activity on those exchanges as well. Over the long term, yes, maybe we can really look at some of these leading major exchanges. They are very expensive to list on, and that doesn't mean that they're out of the question. It just means that it's not really the first step. There are a lot of tokens that maybe aren't successful even though they're on a major exchange. So what we really need is the core fundamentals of the business in place. We need everything working so that we have the demand in place, the products in place, everything behind the scenes, and then we can expand into these larger exchanges where we can get more activity and more promotion for the token through that avenue as well. But really, I really am working hard to make sure everything is in place prior to that. That's things like the newer simi site, for instance. We needed a good place for people to show up and see a simi and get the information that they need. So that is all part of the plan here. We need to do all of our content creation, get everything in place first, and then look at expanding into those major exchanges. If we expand into major exchanges too soon without everything, all of the professional side of the business taken care of in the back end, then it might be a negative effect for us. So what we really need to do is make sure that we have all of that in place first, and then yes, move into those big exchanges like you suggested there. Let's keep moving down. Your old words. You should complete your previous promises. Earning of the login ads payments use to purchase a simi on live DEX. And new people who bring his advertising product first, he buy a simi on the Waves DEX and then buy advertising product. Okay, so let's cover this one first. I think there's a little bit of confusion here. We're definitely doing exactly what we've said here, where the earning of the login ads payment, I believe what you're saying here is the login ad sales, are used to purchase a simi on the DEX. The login ad was never intended to purchase a simi on the DEX. What it does, it does if it's there's two parts of this. The login ad payment is burned. Okay, so all of the simi that we receive when somebody purchases the login ad, we burn that, reducing the circulating supply of a simi over the long term. That can have a good effect for the simi token. If it was purchased with Bitcoin, however, then we use that Bitcoin to purchase a simi, and then we burn the login ad payment. Okay, so if it was purchased with another currency, yes, then we purchase the simi on the DEX, and then we burn it. But if it's just purchased with a SIMI, then we just burn the SIMI that we collect there. And so that's the second part here. So if they buy the advertising with I think I understand what you're saying here. So maybe you're talking about using Bitcoin, but it's just a two-step process where we get the Bitcoin and then we purchase it, or an advertiser can go and purchase a SIMI themselves and then they can go and buy the products listed on another exchange. That's definitely something that we are working on right now. And yeah, so I hope that I've cleared that up for you. We are doing what we have promised. So everything that we've said that we would do, we are doing that. It's just maybe a little bit of confusion here about the way that we use the login ad. And I have the ability to change the SIMI to hit the peak point in the market. You remember my $1 investment campaign, boost the whole market. Well, any support is welcomed, of course, and so and I appreciate this because we are building this community together, and really we will see that engagement again. I believe what you're saying here is that when things start to turn around, you're going to be back in this with us and building it with us, so I appreciate that. Now, if I carry on here, the view to earn premium, remove it. It has been removed, and until we make it better. So just like you're saying here, make sure it's available for everyone. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some really good changes to the view to earn premium, and it will be a better system as a result. Let's keep moving down here. I think a major concern for members is the price of a SIMI. People have bought stakes and they are waiting up for a long time so that they could cash out some of their money, but it has been a very long time since the price of a SIMI got too low. I think the proper steps should be taken to at least drive the price to 50 cents. Only that way people can feel motivated and encouraged. Look, I think that what you've said here is, I would say, how everyone feels. You know, I think that this is probably one of the main points about where we're at in this business right now. It is the major concern because people have staked their SIMI, they are earning their SIMI, and they've seen the price go down and down and down and down. But really, we have a really strong community of people that do believe in this project, and I appreciate everybody that does follow us and they continue to persevere with us, understanding the potential that we have here. Because if the price gets back to 50 cents in any near future, you can imagine how many happy people we will see, right? You can imagine what that would mean for your account balance. If, hypothetically speaking, if you look at all the SIMI that you've been earning over this year and you put it at a 50-cent value, what does that mean for your account? And for a lot of people, that means a lot of profits. And so there are certain people that purchased a SIMI in the dollar range or $2 range even, and so they're even waiting for a higher move up. But I think everybody, including them, will be very happy to see the token move back up towards that 50-cent range, and that really is still the range that we predict for a SIMI. That is what we are working towards to help a SIMI get to those values. And disclaimer, of course, you need to make the decisions that are right for you and get independent advice, but really this is the target for us. And so just like we launched, we want to get it back into that range, and then people will feel more motivated and encouraged. In fact, I would go even further to say, as soon as we see the bottom of a SIMI in the price and that starts to move up, people will start to feel better, okay? I think everybody is just on the same page where it's been going down for so long that they start to wonder and get, they start to think, is this ever going to stop? Is this the bottom, or is it going to continue to go down and down and down and down? And so we just need to see that change in direction, and that is what we are working on. That is all of the changes that we're making in order to really push the token back up. So I totally agree with what you've said there, and that is really, in a nutshell, exactly what we're trying to do. I still think some advertising material is needed. Not everyone in the community is good at advertising. The landing pages are great, but we need something to get people to look at them. Yes, thanks, Missy Sharp. I agree. I think what you're saying there is some email swipes, maybe some different ways to maybe run solo ads or different banners. Maybe is that? I think that's what you're saying. But overall, I think what we're doing right now, and this ties back into the separation with some advertising focused material and some earning focused material, we're going to have a better targeted funnel. So that will actually include email swipes. We will be building email swipes and follow-up emails that you could use for your own list building, and then that separated landing page. So we'll have the lead capture pages that we already have with some new designs for them as well, but also the new full page landing pages that are more targeted as well. Change and show people how you choose the winner of stake. So this has been a bit of a hot topic in the Facebook group. People wondering if the way that we choose the stake is rigged in some way, and really it absolutely is not. So I'm not sure why everybody is in such a fuss about this point. But the fact is that not a lot of people are qualifying for the View to Earn Premium, so there's not a lot of people in the draw. It's randomly selected by a computer every single time, and the fact is that there's such few people that are qualifying that it really comes down to, if you qualified on that day, you had a very good chance. So some people have won multiple times. It's that simple. Okay, that's the fact. There's nothing fishy going on. There's no conspiracy happening here. This is just the fact that it was hard to see 5 ads in a single day, so not many people qualified, and some people have won the stake multiple times. And good on them, okay? Some people have told me maybe we shouldn't be able to win the stake more than once and things like that. But why? For me, this really is for the dedicated people. If you won the stake more than once, it means you're there on the website every waking minute trying to watch those 5 premium ads so that you can win. So congratulations is my thoughts on that. So it really, that's all I can really say on that. But we have removed it because of the low amount of people that can qualify until we make those changes to make it fairer for everybody that they can qualify. But the system itself is working perfectly. Just list a Simi on another exchange and start up a trading competition. Yeah, that's an interesting suggestion there. Thanks. I think that is something that, like I touched on previously in this video, there is some potential there for traders once we do get on another exchange. So that is maybe something we can look at, running a trading competition. Instead of just giving out a free Simi, allowing more supply, it will boost the price of a Simi, bringing more demand. Yeah, look, I think that it definitely could help. So we are, like I said, looking at our second exchange launch coming up, and then I do like that suggestion. So thanks for that. I'll remember that maybe we could run some form of trading competition to really get things moving on that exchange. Can we have a countdown when we're minting our ads? I think what you're talking about there is that you can see the total amount of ads that you have seen, just to keep track on what number you're up to. That is something that we can add. I think, Remy, we may have even discussed this one time before. So it is something that we can look at adding in. Let me just look at that in the timeline for when we might be able to add that counter on the Ad Minter ad view page. Prince Peter, well, Luke, well done for this amazing platform, Hashing Ad Space. You're a great and a good man. Soon we'll mark the 1-year anniversary. I think you're doing a great things. Price increase soon to follow. Thanks, Prince Peter. I do appreciate the support. Kind words there, so thank you for that. And yes, we will be having our 1-year anniversary, which is a really exciting time to be a year in business already. we've come a long way. There's been a lot of things that have happened. It's been a bumpy road, a lot of technical challenges, some things that I really couldn't foresee that were going to go wrong, have gone wrong, but we've overcome them and we continue to persevere. So it's exciting to reach that 1 year mark and then move on for our second year. You're the best CEO. Thanks. Thanks, Joko. Appreciate that. All right. Less Simi added to the market per day, so it becomes more rare. So the price will go up and the old value or higher. I know you guys burn a Simi, but it seems not enough. So yes, I think this comes back to the inflation that we've talked about again. We are burning the login ad like we've talked about, but you're right. Maybe it's not as much as how much inflation that we have with the minting, but over time it really will start to take effect. And like I've touched on before, what we will be doing is taking some measures to reduce that inflation rate to really try and support the market, exactly like you've said. As we implement more of those measures over time, it will cause that effect and really start to help the market. Hi Luke, thanks mate for keeping us updated on the improvements and upcoming new features. My only concern is that I have what is happening to those, including myself, who have reached the levels of a Simi Stakes to qualify for advertising to be done on their behalf to get new members. Could your team please give more updates on this and how it's going? I've worked hard to reach the first and second level, but haven't received any new members signing up under me. I reached first level probably 6 months ago and I've had nothing. Just as you give updates on many other things, could you please do it for this? Yes, okay, great. Thanks, Rod. Look, I think I actually reached out to another team member to see how their results were, because I think there's some mixed results going on here where some people are definitely getting leads, and it sounds like, Rod, you haven't got any leads yet. So I want to make sure, of course, everybody gets a lot of leads out of this, because this is the free offer that we have means that the rotator really can deliver a lot of referrals to your account, and it should be happening on a weekly basis. So let me look into how much traffic is running across that rotator at the moment and make sure that we really can try and deliver more leads to your referral links. We are going to make some changes, as I've mentioned, with the new changes we have for the promotional material. That's going to help again, because we'll have some new pages to go out there and push and do some paid marketing to get some more referrals. So keep an eye on it, Rod. We really are working on a lot of things, but I do want this rotator to work for everybody. So hopefully over the next month we can get you some referrals. It's definitely still working and still on the list. We're still doing it, and so it just sounds like you haven't got any yet. You can also look at your in the affiliate section, you can look at your landing pages and make sure they're getting clicks, because you can see how many clicks and conversions are occurring. So if your landing page has views, then that means you are getting traffic, but maybe that just hasn't converted yet. So have a look at that just to make sure that your referral link is in fact in the system, and you can let support know if you have any problems there. It would be really nice if we could pay for ads directly from our Bitcoin wallet. Fees on coin payments are high. If I send them from Exodus wallet, they are minimal and transaction time is generally quite fast. So I believe you can send your you can make your payment for any advertising product directly from your Exodus wallet. It goes through our Coin Payments gateway, but you do not need an account with Coin Payments in order to do that. I'm not sure if you're talking about the fees on the gateway when you make that payment. I'm not sure, but you can definitely make your payment from the Exodus wallet. The reason that we use Coin Payments is that it is a payment processor for products and services and purchases, meaning that when you pay using the Coin Payments gateway from your own wallet, okay, so it doesn't have to be Coin Payments wallet, like I said, it means that you get your products. Okay, so it's all coded in, you can make your payment and your product is delivered. So you can't just, for instance, send some Bitcoin to my personal Bitcoin wallet address and then we have to work out your delivery and all the rest of that. So it doesn't work like that. So Coin Payments is the gateway, but you can definitely use any wallet that has Bitcoin in it and purchase the product directly on Hash and Outspace. Okay. Since seeing premium view to earn is generally like gold dust, I just had an idea of actually seeing them as gold banners rather than dark blue ones, minus the downtime when they're fixed. I love your idea, Luke, about selling some advertising to large companies. It would really drive the token. Your platform is probably one of the cheapest I've seen for advertising, and it just gets even more valuable the greater the numbers that Hash and Outspace gains as a platform. Yeah, I think that this is, in my opinion, it's going to make some big changes for the token. The token, a Simi really doesn't need a lot of buying pressure. We're talking some pretty low numbers on the exchange to make drastic changes. If even something like $500 a day on the exchange, if it was just pure buying of a Simi at $500 a day, it would drive the token price up. And so it's our goal to find external companies that have large advertising budgets and get them promoting on our platform. I mean, while we can expand out there into the wider community, let's all appreciate for a moment just how much money there is in services such as new exchange launches or new token launches or new online business launches, right? A lot of money gets circulated in that space when companies are trying to launch their business and get their name out there. And so if we can find those corporate customers and really offer them this traffic solution, I think that is really going to make big changes to the Asimi price, because then we can go and actually buy the Asimi up ourselves on a daily basis. A choice of being able to auto stake freshly minted Asimi. Look, I think that this, I've seen that sort of thing done in other businesses. What I don't like about it is that we want people to make their decisions every single time. And so if you want to stake, then you go and take the action of staking, you read the terms and conditions, you agree to them, and then you stake your Asimi and you fully understand and accept what it is that you're doing with your Asimi. And so we haven't set up any automated function for that. Really, if you want to stake, you go and you take the couple of minutes to get that done. Thanks for the suggestion, of course, but that's sort of the reason that we haven't implemented that. Minting Asimi into the login stake until, even if you have enough to buy a regular stake. So say you had 3,000 in the login stake, it'd be awesome to be able to put that into the main staking system instead directly from the login stake section, as you have to wait 30 days. So interchanging between the two staking systems. It's an interesting idea. I'm not 100% sure how many people would like to be able to interchange between the two. It is interesting though, with the 30-day term, it's not a long time to wait. Realistically, you get to earn that entire 30 days as well. So I'll think about that. Thanks for the suggestion there. I'm not sure exactly what or how we would have that interchanging sort of in a more fluid way. I think that the staking that we have set up at the moment it's working, and I think for the moment I really like the way that it's going. An idea I mentioned in the lives was, since we have a login stake, what about a log out stake too? A lot of information here, but I really love your platform and it's great what you're doing something with the resources you have. Much appreciated. Well, thanks for being a long-term member. I know that we've been in this since the very beginning. So the logout stake's an interesting concept. I've actually seen a logout ad done before, but the problem is nobody sticks around to watch it, right? So nobody is interested in the logout ad. All they do is hit the X button and the tab's closed. So I haven't really seen value for the advertiser from that standpoint, and we really want to stay true to that we are trying to build an advertising business because that's where the demand comes from, and that's how we get people earning, right? So we have to stay true to that. So we have some other ideas for different advertising systems that might pop up from time to time. So similar to what you're saying there, we might be able to bring in a new earning system. It may not be on the logout, but somewhere else in the platform. So thanks for all the suggestions. Okay, Colin, RIA price. We have not seen what happens when the stakes start to expire. This can have a huge impact on the price. I think about 90% of staking was done from December to March. As the stakes fell away, the returns to remaining stakers will increase. The high returns will make people stake again, and people that have lost their stakes will replace them. We'll see a huge increase in the staking and thus price increases as we saw at the beginning of the year. There has not been a lot of staking in the last 6 months since the price came down. If staking returns and demand for a simi will increase, it is simple supply and demand. I'm waiting to see the effect of the stake expire. This has never happened before. Watch this space. Yeah, look, this is going to be really interesting, Colin. And I totally agree with what you are saying, that current stakers, are going to get a huge pay rise when it comes to February. And the reason is what you've touched on here, that the majority of staking happened in the first couple of months. And the reason for that is that a lot of people used their pre-mint. So for the few months that we pre-minted for free, a lot of people poured that Asimi into staking, and it was free for them because they minted it for free and they used it to stake, and they've been earning on it ever since, all for free. And so with that, we also had a lot of excitement around the launch, and a lot of people staked in those first couple of months. And so you're not wrong in saying that the majority of staking was done in those first couple of months, meaning because it's a 12-month staking contract, in February and March, most of those stakes are going to expire. And what that will mean is that people that are still minting are going to see huge differences in their income. And I just had a look down here at your second comment. How many stakes are due to expire in the next 3 months? I would put it closer to 30,000, Colin. And when we look at the change that means for the current amount of stakes that are in the system, the current amount of minting that is happening every day, when 80% of that, or maybe not that much, but just sort of ballpark, expire, then we're talking a huge difference in minting income. And so what it can do is inspire, like you've said, more activity as people start to see, hey, this is really profitable all of a sudden. Okay, all of this minting is now, we're earning 10 times what we were earning before. Maybe not, but you see the point that I'm saying there. And so what that means is that we could see a lot more activity, and it will be a very interesting time for the minting and the staking and the Asimi price. So I'm with you there. I think that a lot could happen. And you've done a few numbers here, and that's right. So at these lower prices, it could absorb huge amounts of Asimi just in those months as people start to get re-engaged there. Simba, I see that you're saying that they won't buy Asimi from the exchange and stake again. They'd rather use their earned Asimi to restake. But the thing is that this is already in the market. So if somebody was using their earned Asimi to restake, then they would already have that Asimi right now, and they could just restake it right now. Some people, potentially, they have the Asimi sitting in their wallet and they're choosing not to stake it right now, and maybe they would make a different decision then, absolutely. But the majority of the people that want to stake again, they would likely need to purchase some of that from the exchange. Hello, Luke. My own suggestion is that other means of promoting Asimi should be put in place, like using it for purchase of other materials, like having an online store or something similar. Yes, 100% agree with you here. And that really is touched on in this latest video where we talk about the new product. and the product is something that will complement Hashing Ad Space, but it's completely separate to help people build online marketing businesses, giving them tools. And that product itself is something that really does help people succeed in the online marketing space and network marketing space. And that is a very strong first product for a Simi, because what you're saying there is, well, it may be the second product. It'll depend, because we do also have the Simi coin, so the silver coin, that will also be a product, a physical product. So that will give us two products for a Simi that are outside of the advertising in Hashing Ad Space, and we plan to continue to grow that. I've already been in discussions with other people about how can we start getting other retailers using a Simi, accepting a Simi, other advertising platforms around this space, so people that are familiar with what we're doing here, maybe they can accept a Simi, or maybe they can offer ad view incentives with a Simi, and that's something that we're working towards as well, to give some more external purchases for, or external demand for the Simi token. So thanks for the suggestion. I totally agree with what you're saying there. My suggestion is that the ad mint is supposed to get paid with Bitcoin Direct, not only a Simi. Option is needed to provide or other coins. So I think what you're saying there is to mint Bitcoin directly, which so understanding our system, we can't mint Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is mined through machines, computers, and that is how Bitcoin, that's the inflation schedule for Bitcoin. And miners mine new Bitcoins into circulation every single day, and they receive those Bitcoins for keeping the transaction ledger. What we're doing here is we're offering a Simi incentive to mint ads, and so we control that a Simi inflation schedule. Okay, we don't control the Bitcoin inflation schedule, meaning that we can't pay Bitcoin directly, because that is on Bitcoin, and what we have is a Simi, and so the minting would always be paid in a Simi. But thanks for the suggestion. We really are building a Simi economy here, and our goal really is to continue with that. You people are, I think what you're saying is fraud, making people pull. Not 100% what you're saying there, but I think this is a negative comment saying that we're a fraud. So that is absolutely not true, and I think that what needs to be understood here with this business is that we're building a real business, something that is sustainable, with a token economy that has a true demand and that people can earn. Some people, unfortunately, are looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, and that is not what we offer. And so I need people to understand that this is a long-term business, and you can earn some tokens and you can advertise your business, but we are building a real business here. There's never a time that we say, oh, we can't pay our Simi. Everything we're doing here is 100% legitimate. Maybe some people have unrealistic expectations, but what we're doing here is trying to offer a lot of value. You have to understand that we started by offering everything for free, okay? And yeah, look, Simi token price is down, and that's a lot of the reason that we're making these videos and building step by step, but you're entitled to your opinion, but you are absolutely wrong. Now, let's keep moving down. So, roll out the Simi silver bullion coins. Yep, absolutely, James. We are talking with the bullion mint, so that is definitely coming, and that is a very exciting time. I love silver. I love precious metals and investing in that. And so I know that a lot of people are interested in that as well. And so once we launch this silver bullion coin, that's going to be very exciting, and it's also another product. What about adding a weekly or monthly lottery for Simi collector coins? Many people are interested in acquiring silver in their investment portfolios. Have an accumulating lottery pot with major and minor prizes, a combination of silver coins and a Simi prizes. Let's say $1 worth of a Simi per ticket and 3 tickets for $2 worth of a Simi. Profits could be used by Hash to buy back a Simi or rolled into the market. Look, I think oh sorry, rolled into the next lottery or special draws. That's a really interesting suggestion. I'd have to check maybe with the legality of running something like that. I know that with a lot of jurisdictions you can't run a lottery, but you can sometimes run raffles, right? A lot of the jurisdictions don't go and penalize people trying to, fundraise for their school camp, for instance. But I'd have to look at, yeah, like I said, the legality. I think, there is actually a lot of, it's a great strategy, what you've described there. Exactly what you've said, that these profits could be used, that people can purchase a small entry into a raffle to win something of value, and we could receive a lot of revenue as a result that could be used to buy back a simi on the exchange. That could be really good for the token value, absolutely, because we'd probably see a lot of people using their earned simi in order to get these raffle tickets, and then we could, really absorb a lot of that. So thanks for the suggestion. I think that that is a really good one, and something that we'll consider. Like I said, we'll have to go through the legality of how that might work. So look, that is the end of all of the comments. So thank you so much, everybody, for sticking with me through all of these questions. Bit of a Q&A. If you have some more questions, you can post them here and we can go about it again. I think that we've covered everything, and there's, I think, a lot of value from what you guys have said. So thanks so much for all of your feedback again, because this is important to us as we're moving forward. We really want to do this with the whole community in mind as we push this community and economy forward for a Simi, hashing out space, and any other products and services that we do launch into this economy. So it really is an exciting time, in my opinion. I feel really optimistic about what the future holds for our business. And that might seem strange for some people, because some people are so fixated on the Assini price. And I can see why people do get fixated on that, because there's a lot of unknowns. You don't know what I'm working on. But for me, I know the direction that we're heading. I know what we're putting in place. And I know that over the long term, that's what's going to drive this business. And so that gives me a lot of confidence in what we're doing and where we're headed, so that I know for the coming years we're going to see some really remarkable results. And it's really exciting for me and for our team and for everybody that's working on this daily. I mean, we have all of the employees that are working on this system. I haven't worked it out, but it's, we're talking over 200 hours at least, probably much more, that are going into just developing. I'd say even much more, probably 300 hours that it's going into just working on new features for this business to drive it forward every single week, a whole team. And so as long as we're doing that, we know that we continue to build this, and we're going to end up in a place that really is successful for everybody, and that is the purpose of this business. So thanks again for all your feedback. I think I'll do more of this Q&A style video. I know it was long, but it could have really helped people, I think, understand a lot about what we're doing. So thanks again. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.